Ambani explosives case very closely. The story that began with a few gelatin sticks being found in a car parked in the lane where Mukesh Ambani's residence is. Initially, we weren't even too sure if it was directly linked to the fact that Antilla is on the same road as where this abandoned car was found. But then there was a letter directly addressed to the Ambanis. There were also number plates, license number plates of vehicles that had these numbers on them identical to the number plates of some of the vehicles in Ambani's security convoy. And as the investigation proceeded, it took an ugly dark turn when one of the people who owned the car that had been found, that man himself, turned up dead. And while initially there was an attempt to push it as a suicide, it's now a murder case that is being investigated. So there's a lot of controversy and a big political fight going on even there as well. But as multiple agencies from NIA to ATS to the Mumbai police, everybody investigates this case, a very interesting revelation was made. There is a group that calls itself the Jaish-ul-Hind that reportedly took claim and took responsibility for this action. They also reportedly did this in the Israeli embassy attack that took place a few months ago. And so an investigation was also done to follow up on that lead. Now that lead has landed up in Tihar jail. It seems that terror convicts, terrorists languishing in Tihar jail have access to mobile phones. And one of them was the one who managed to put out this kind of a claim on social media. So here is what the Delhi police actually found once the Mumbai police reached out to the Delhi police, that there were phones and SIMs that were transported inside Tihar jail. This phone that has now been seized has been active since July 2020. And the call data records suggest that there were many calls that were made to Mumbai. The SIM actually is registered in the name of a Delhi resident. So while the investigation really continues into that explosives case, I am tonight extremely concerned about what's going on in Tihar jail and the fact that some of the most dangerous criminals in our country, those accused of terrorism, are so easily able to access SIM cards and mobile phones, make calls, seemingly run some kind of operations from inside the Tihar jail. What does it say about the security of this jail? Security of a jail that has housed the most high-profile convicts and accused in our country. That's the conversation I want to have right now. As I say good evening to the panelists who are joining us. Ravi Srivastava, founding member of the Aam Aadmi Party, joins us this evening. Charu Pragya of the BJP continues to stay with us. Mr. Arun Bhagat, former Commissioner of Police and former Director of the IB, also with us this evening. Mr. Arun Bhagat, let me come to you first and get your expert opinion on what's going on. This would be, in my own understanding, classified as a big security breach. Mr. Arun Bhagat, good evening. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I did not hear what the anchor had to ask me.
Mr. Arun Bhagat, good evening. This is Tanvi here, the anchor of the show. My question to you, sir, is this a big security breach? To my mind, this is a big security breach. The terror convicts inside a jail have access to mobile phones.
Well, it is true that there has been a breach, but to give it a category, I would not agree with you. After all, you must realize that a jail is a very large establishment, and there are hundreds of people who go in and out. So there is a chance of something being smuggled in. As we know, there have been cases in the past of narcotics being found, other articles being found. And yes, it is true that in many of our jails, including Tihar, we have had incidents and cases of mobile phones being used for purposes of ransom, kidnapping, being organized. It is really serious that this was found in the part of the jail in which terrorists, suspected terrorists who are facing trial, are being kept. But it is not very clear yet as to which individual the cell phone was recovered from. But I'm sure because of the traces of the phone which will be available to the investigators, they will be able to find out what exactly and who exactly had supplied this to the terrorist or the individual in the jail.
Yes, in fact, that those details have emerged. But let me just ask you this question, Mr. Bhagat. Are there special protocols when you have a terrorist who's housed in a jail, a terror convict who's in a jail, or that specific jail cell where you have such hardened criminals and serious charged criminals who are present there? Wouldn't at least there be a higher level of security and scrutiny there?
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, let me just also tell our viewers and Mr. Bhagat, if you can hear me, we have been given to understand that this was actually found from the cell of Tehseen Akhtar, who is an alleged Indian Mujahideen operative who was arrested by the Delhi Police Special Cell in 2014 from the India-Nepal border. He's been allegedly involved in a series of blasts in India along with other IM terrorists. In fact, his role also came under the scanner in the Mumbai Opera House and the Zaveri Bazaar case of 2011 as well. So he's actually the one who's under the scanner right now. And Ravi Srivastava, for how long will we continue to have this as a normal trend? That even in jail, terrorists, dons, mafia continue with their criminal activities with absolutely no check.
Tanvi, let me make a sweeping statement first that almost 90% of the jails in UP, Bihar, MP, Rajasthan have got the mobile phone access to the inmates there. To the dreaded people, the murder accused people, the convicted people, the terrorists, they have the access to these mobile phones, and many run their entire gang sitting right inside the police jail because they consider it is a safer place compared to being outside. Now, as regards this particular case, I have certain questions. I think the Aam Aadmi Party leader, Mr. Satyendra Jain, has already written to the Tihar jail administration to investigate it and give a complete report that how a mobile phone entered the cell of a dreaded terrorist, Tehseen Akhtar or whoever he is. But I want to ask one more question. Just a month before, there was a mini blast outside the Israeli embassy, and the same person, I think, or a same cell was, targeted. That this was planned right from that Tihar jail only. So I want to ask the question to the people, the authorities, that what were they doing for more than a month? And why could they not seize this kind of, how many more phones are there in the Tihar jail? You should find out. Another thing which I want to highlight is that Mumbai
But
police...
that Satyendra Jain will have to find out, Ravi.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not denying that. What I'm not denying is, but the fact is that entire Delhi is, the police is under the Home Minister of this country. So he should also be asked some questions that how they failed in finding out this kind of lapses. And another thing is that the Mumbai police had to hire a private agency for finding out the location of the mobile phone. I mean, why can't they have the kind of competence to find
Yes.
out that where the mobile phone is coming from, where the call is coming from, where somebody is making a Telegram account, where somebody is sending the messages? So all these things, I think, is quite mysterious and need to be properly probed and investigated. But it's definitely a failure on the
But
part of the jail administration.
perhaps that's why, if this man was indeed also, if this Indian Mujahideen former operative Tehseen Akhtar was indeed the one who also put out similar messages claiming responsibility for the Israeli embassy attack as well, perhaps that's why so far the police authorities couldn't find it, because when it comes to cyber investigation, we still have a lot to do for our police authorities. And the fact that the Mumbai police actually got in an external agency to look into it and track down this phone number and what was happening is how this actually came about. Charu Pragya, go ahead please.
Sorry. It's really sad that my co-panelist has decided to make a situation as serious as this extremely political instead of addressing the problem at its root, where we should be working right now. He wants to compare other wrongs and he wants to say this is less wrong because something worse happened elsewhere. So, sir, that's shameful. But Tanvi, just give me 30 seconds and I want to tell you what basically goes on. Not to mention that Tihar jail actually comes under Delhi government, Aam Aadmi Party, sir, and वो आपने address नहीं किया, उसको छोड़ के आपने दुनिया भर की बातें कर ली. The main problem here is, Tanvi, that we have jails, but how many jails does the country have? 1,400, 4 lakh inmates in 1,400 jails. So basically our jails are overcrowded. What needs to change here? Infrastructure, of course, needs to be upgraded and improved. But there are budgets in place. There are resources which are available to Tihar jail. But are these resources being used widely? Delhi government gives 450 crore plus every single year to Tihar jail alone. They've got metal detectors, they've got CCTV cameras, they have got every facility available. Do they check to make sure these facilities are working? Do they check to make sure the CCTVs are recording every single thing, keeping track of that and making sure that culprits are caught and punished at the right point of time? Are we not in a situation, if we cannot stop smuggling of cell phones inside, can we not put jammers there? This brings us to the bigger question, which is what I want to talk about. It's very, very easy to pick up one incident, compare it to several others and say, my government is squeaky clean because your government could be worse. Well, sir, this is your government and Tihar jail has a whole list of incidents that I can start reading out and Tanvi's entire show will get over, because the kind of incidents that have been happening in Tihar, from murders to conspiracies, to so on and so forth, the recent cases which have come to the fore, the calls which were made for claiming the car which was standing outside the Ambani residence, the list is unending. Why is it happening in Tihar? Are you not keeping a close enough eye? And if there has to be some sort of a reform to be done, why is the government not working on it?
Yes, okay. Now, in fact, I know you are right and the list is endless, but I just want to want to highlight a couple of these incidents because that directly ties into the conversation we are having right now. In August 2019, just about a year and a half ago, an inmate actually was out on parole, swallowed 4 mobile phones. That's the extent that these people are going to. He ended up then throwing up 3 of these and one had to be removed via surgery. In September 2020, that's just about 6 months ago, an Islamic State handler operated from Tihar, used a smartphone, used it to broadcast messages and actually radicalize young minds while inside the jail. In May 2020, again less than a year ago, Tihar prisoner only exposed the entire mobile phone racket that was going on, showed that how there were mobile phones easily available while taking a video of this entire incident. So my question, Ravi Srivastava, is I don't think Satyendra Jain needs to wake up to this reality now and order an investigation. I am right now quoting instances that have happened just in the last 1 year, all related to mobile phones. And after this, if we are not able to catch a terror convict inside jail with a mobile phone that's been in use for at least 6 months, then there is a big problem with the jail.
Tanvi, there are two aspects. First of all, this particular mobile phone was even operative in the Tihar jail since July 2020. This has come on record. Now, I want to tell my co-panelists that the government runs only the administrative part, the budgeting part. The jail, Mr. Satyendra Jain or Mr. Arvind Kejriwal do not run the jail. The jail is run by a jailer. The particular jailers are there who are police personnel, who are all police personnel. And the police in Delhi, I hope my co-panelist knows very well, comes right under Mr. Amit Shah's nose. The Delhi government does not have any hold on the police personnel. The Delhi government is responsible only to the part of the budgeting, providing infrastructure, providing the CCTV, providing metal detector. All those kind of things are provided by the government. The government does not run the jail. The responsibility for the activities inside the jail right comes in the purview of the jailer and in turn of the Delhi police, who are the complicit to the all attacks and all terror activities in the state.
Tanvi, can I respond?
Well, this is the other fight that always happens. Yes, let me just tell our viewers, every time there is a problem with the decision making or security of the Tihar jail, it just becomes a blame game issue.
Ravi ji, you're such a senior person and I'm very young on the political scene. I'm very new on the political scene. If I can understand...
That's not important to reply.
1 minute, let me finish. If I can understand an issue must be addressed and we must come up with a solution, you need to understand it better than me. Instead of just pointing fingers and saying Amit Shah and Modi ji as an answer to every single thing on the planet. That's not done, sir. And I am not getting into the history of Aam Aadmi Party, but I know what deep terror sympathizers Aam Aadmi Party has turned out to be. Your own councillor was named in the charge sheet for Delhi riots. I can go on.
Come on, madam. You have got the terrorists in your party. You have got a terrorist as an MP, terror accused as an MP in your party. You don't give the sermons. You don't give the sermons. You have got a terror convict in your alleged terrorist in your party, madam. Please don't talk about that.
To get into a tutu meme match, but the thing to remember...
Okay. Let her finish her point. Let her finish her point, yes.
I am here with complete research, but what did I choose to do instead? Talk constructively. The kind of politics that Aam Aadmi Party is playing at today is actually sick. This is not going to help this country, sir. Rise above it. Rise above
it. That's why you have been washed out 3 times. 3 elections you have been washed out in Delhi. Madam, talk sense. 3 elections.
Okay. That is not relevant. That is not relevant.
The people.
That is not relevant. I'm completely out of time. I will have to thank our panelists for joining us on this conversation. I don't want Ravi and Charu, I don't want this to become a tutu meme between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. I want everybody to come together because this is a big problem. It may have gone on for a long time. We can say that, this happens in jails across the country from UP and Bihar to the national capital. It shouldn't. And rather than taking that as an answer and normalizing the entire situation, we should be standing up and saying, oh my God, what's going on? How is it that terror convicts have so easy access to mobile phones, are sitting inside and claiming responsibilities for the attack at the Israeli embassy, for the explosive being found near Mukesh Ambani's house. And I'm not saying this is the man who plotted it or planned it or even is involved. My problem is that if in 1 year there have been 4 other instances of mobile phone rackets emerging from Tihar jail, then what were the authorities really doing there? And how dare the Aam Aadmi Party government now turn around and say we will order an investigation? What was going on for all of this time? Can we please stop indulging in blame game and for once come up with a clear answer? Out of time on this conversation. Thank you for joining us.